Hey guys, this is Patrick from STH. Today, we are going to continue our cool server hardware series by unboxing the Intel Visual Compute Accelerator, or VCA. This is 3 Xeon E3 servers on a single PCIe card, which makes it insanely cool. We got this unit through sources, and I guess you could say that. Well, anyway, the box had definitely seen some better days, but it actually came with the entire box. And so you can see that it tells you a little bit about the card itself. And it says that it has 3 Intel Xeon E3 processors and supports up to 32 gigs of RAM per processor for up to 96 gigs of RAM on this card. This is something that's really different. And so we're going to open this up real quick and take a look inside. You have a PCIe bracket, which is always nice to have. But we want to move in and take a look at some of the other parts of this, which include the VCA cover. Now, usually in the marketing materials, you see the VCA card with this cover already installed on it. And so this is really kind of getting to look underneath that cover for the first time. And there's a little book that says safety things and a whole bunch of stuff that nobody that has purchased these cards probably has ever read. But we have this nice little shroud. And we're going to put that back in the box for a sec because we need to get to the card. Okay, so when you open this thing up, what you see is this really funky heatsink design. There's, different heat sinks. There's heat pipes going across this thing, and there are DIMM slots. And so, you're also going to see this little baggie on the side, and that looks like some really weird metal bracket. But what it is it's the cable retention bracket. So it's kind of important for a lot of servers. And if we pull that card out for a moment, what you can see is a better view of some of the SO-DIMM slots. Now, these are DDR3 SO-DIMM slots. There's this giant heatsink cooler complex. There's a backplate, which kind of keeps it a little stiffer, but also maybe helps with cooling. I don't know. And, you can see 1, 2, 3 server processors there. Those are all Intel Xeon E3 server processors. So let's take a quick look at the specs. Now, if you see what's here, you can see that there are the 3 Intel Xeon E3 1200V4 series CPUs. Each of the CPUs has a 47-watt TDP and runs at 2.9 gigahertz with up to 3.8 gigahertz max turbo frequency. You can have 2 DIMM slots with 16 gig DDR3 ECC DIMMs per, which gives you a total of 32 gigs per node, or 96 total. But there's also, and the big deal here is the Iris ProGraphics P6300, which includes the 128 megs of EDRAM, which was the really high-end GPU feature for this generation. And so we had a little issue with this, namely we may have sold or disposed of all of our DDR3 SO-DIMMs, but we found a couple in the trash bin just to give you a look at what this looks like. We have other DDR3 SO-DIMMs, ECC SO-DIMMs on order, so we'll be able to actually run this card pretty soon, but we wanted to show you this as part of our funky hardware series and just kind of mock it up for you so you got a sense of what these cards look like when they're deployed. Something that you don't notice on this version of the VCA is that there's no networking, there's no storage, like an M.2 SSD storage on here. And what that means is that this card is actually relying on the host for getting its networking connectivity and then storage either over the network or locally on the host machine. So it's not complete servers, but you have RAM, GPU, and CPU all on this little card, which is pretty darn cool. So here's the cover, put the cover on. The PCIe bracket is a little bit weird because it doesn't attach directly to the PCB. It actually attaches to the cover instead, which is, most GPUs will attach the PCIe bracket closer to the PCB rather than the metal outside portion. And then, there's this retention bracket, which is just a big honking heavy piece of metal that keeps your cables from getting in the way and clogging up your airflow. So this allows you to secure the PCIe card and not have it sag in a server. It also allows you to do things like tie down your cables to it. So there are a lot of kind of useful bits in why you would use that retention bracket. So this is the card. I think it's pretty cool, and we just wanted to show it to you. We're going to have this card installed, and we're going to show you what it looks like with a little Kubernetes cluster soon. So stay tuned for more. thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you should check out our main site, you should subscribe, and we're going to have more really cool hardware that we're going to show you in the near future.